Thank you. Thank you all for coming. I'd like to call the May 12th, 2021 Park and Recreation Committee to order. Have a roll call, please.
All right, George? Genevieve? Ritu? Katie? Mike Kelly?
Here.
Jamie?
Present.
Mike LeBlanc?
Yep, right here.
Toby?
Present.
Bill Nowak? Renee?
Here.
Dan?
Here.
And John Pelkey? And then Molly's here, John, myself, Erica's not on yet, and Art, I see. I think.
Yes.
There he is. Okay.
Could I have a motion for approval of the minutes of last meeting or any discussions or changes to be made to that?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
I second.
Motion's been made and carried. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Raise your hand. All those opposed say aye. Any abstentions? Again, I can't see all the screens, so I think the ayes have it. Is that right? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. I think I have to read this before I ask about the public input. If you're in the public and you're on the phone, when you participate in this conference call, you can call the number at 855-925-2801. The meeting code is 2432. When you call the phone number, you hear welcome to public input. .com, and it will ask you for the code. Type in the code. The message repeats if you don't enter the code right away. Again, the code is 2432. You'll hear a welcome message and a statement that says you are joining with your microphone muted. For more options, press star. It is not on the menu, but during the public input portion of the meeting, star 3 will show you will let us know you want to speak and be entered into a queue. When it's your turn to speak, your voice will come in an announcement. While in the queue, you're in the waiting room and you'll hear the meeting audio. For more options, press star. When your speaking time is through, you'll hear a message. Thank you for speaking. You are now muted. You can request to speak again by pressing star 3. Okay, is there anyone in the queue right now for public input? Nobody's called in. Okay. I'd like to move on to the council report from Erica. Erica's not here, is she?
She's not on right now.
Yeah.
She said she may be a little late. So
Okay.
maybe we can come back to that.
Board of Education report by Art Arducci. Art, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I have nothing to report.
You guys didn't meet last month?
Well, this is my first Parks and Rec meeting. What exactly are you looking for me to report on in terms of our general board meetings?
We're looking for what's going on with, a lot of the Parks and Rec deals with the schools and their recs and their buildings, and usually Dr. Carter has stuff that relates to.
Thank you, Toby. I appreciate the guidance on that. In terms of anything specific from the last Board of Education meeting regarding any of our facilities that may be relevant to the Parks and Rec, nothing specifically has come up beyond the upcoming potential renovations at Timothy Edwards in terms of adding on more classrooms. And I don't have any progress reports on the fields at Eli Terry at this time.
Okay. Any questions to Art from the commission?
No.
Okay. Special reports, tasks. Molly, do you have anything?
I do not have any special report.
Richard, could you give us a report on the open space task force? You're muted, George.
I think he wants to say that we didn't meet.
You're still muted, George.
Yeah, the audience not working.
George, if I'm correct, the Open Space Task Force did not meet last month, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Report of Parks and Rec from the director. Molly, the floor is yours.
All right, awesome. So I sent out an email earlier today highlighting some of the stuff that are going on within the department over the last month or so. In terms of our facility, we reopened to the public. In terms of reopening, it just means that we're now allowing rentals inside the banquet hall and use of our classrooms for the community groups. Nothing else has really changed in terms of utilizing the facility. So we're still using a walk-up window for everything, and the doors are not unlocked. So the big difference truly is the rental piece of it. We are seeing slowly rentals coming into our facility. We had walk and wheelways come in, and then we will be having, I don't know, about 2 or 3 events next week, meeting groups. And after that, we're going to start having weekly meetings within the facility for several different groups. So it's nice to see some people starting to come back into the building. And then in terms of some of our other programs, we are still kind of working on aquatics. We just got new aquatics guidelines yesterday, and it still asks us to maintain 6 feet of distance within the water and to maintain distance on the pool deck. So we're kind of working on a plan to mitigate any issues on the pool deck in terms of capacity. So we're going to be having the parks crew do our wonderful boxes again to maintain social distance. And then we're basically trying to figure out a schedule to fit our swim team, our camps, and our aquatics lessons during the day. So we're kind of working on how many lessons we can actually accommodate, because it is a 4-to-1 ratio at this time. So there's more to come on aquatics. Luckily, we are opening at least, so that is a positive. We have some fitness classes that will be resuming inside the facility as well. We're going to be utilizing the gym with our masks on. Again, they're going to be doing 6 feet of distance, so that'll be nice to come back into our facility for that. Besides that, all of our camps will be running. So we have specialty and sport camps. They're allowed to run, just, sanitizing the materials, and if they cannot maintain 6 feet distance, they'll be wearing a mask. However, new camp guidelines did come out yesterday. They were stating that we did not have to follow cohorts anymore, social distancing, or extra sanitation. However, we will be erring on the side of caution so we can provide a healthy and safe camp atmosphere for our campers and our staff, because we don't know who's vaccinated, who will not be vaccinated in that time frame. So we are kind of being mindful of that still. And in terms of that, we'll be offering the amended camp programs. So there'll be 3 camps instead of 5. Master plan, we've been working on the Crosstown Trail. We have another meeting with Anchor next week. John, myself, and then a member of Walk and Wheelways. We will be walking the corridor of the trail. So it's about 6 miles. We'll be walking that next week, and we're going to do a kind of a conceptual alignment of the trail to kind of see where we can lay out the trail and what other barriers we're going to come down to in terms of it, because some of it is not land, some of it's swamps and other issues. So we're going to walk through and see it for ourselves. So that's our next step on that. And then our capital projects were approved for the 2021-2022 the capital funding for the repurposing the tennis courts for the pickleball and deck hockey. So we will be moving forward on that project in the upcoming year. So that's exciting. Just found out about that. In terms of our special revenue fund, our budget was also adopted for the fiscal year. So everything that we presented was adopted by the town council, which is exciting. And we are officially at 101.87% of our goal based on the adjusted 2020 COVID budget goal. So our original COVID budget goal was about 857,000, and now we're at 873,269. So a little over 16,000 over what our expected revenue is going to be with COVID, which is very nice to see. And that's really due to our summer registrations. We had a really successful resident registration on May 6th. No one really came in person, not very many, but it was very successful online, as our specialty camps pretty much are full. Camp is almost at half capacity. Various of our fitness classes are doing really well. So we're moving in a really good and strong direction. So we're excited for that. And then we also published the brochure. So if anyone would like to see it, I attached it in the email. It's also on our website for anyone to view. And that kind of highlights all of our summer programs and summer happenings, whether that's our camps, our fitness classes, and then also our summer concert series and drive-in movies. So various things like that. And we're hoping to kind of move back towards magazine, but not right now. There's no solid plan for it. So that's that. John, do you want to give them a small update on the parks?
Feel like George there, not unmuting myself. Sure. I see it. The Tobacco Valley Flyers Club has not completely moved over to Barton yet, or the John J. Mitchell Fairgrounds. They're still doing a little some drone stuff over at the old airport. They have a course set up over there. The athletic fields are all ready to go. We're just trying to keep up with mowing the lawns right now. They're going a little out of control. There's a note in here about our tree budget of $26,000. We've actually spent so far this year, we actually borrowed some money from Public Works, almost $40,000 in open space tree issues. So that problem seems to be growing. I think it's something that we still really need to look at with George through open space, about some of our open spaces that we have throughout town that are getting quite costly for us to maintain. The swale behind Eli Terry, I don't have a picture of it here, but there was a large swale there that was created when the school was built. We thought that it would be fairly unsafe for the children to be able to run into the swale that's about 5 or 6 feet deep and about 12 feet across, and it's 25 feet from the back of the school. We actually talked to engineering, and we decided to put an 18-inch ADS pipe in there. We piped the entire swale out, and we brought it out to where it's safe, to where the kids aren't, and we covered it. So now it's just a flat area. It gives the kids also a little bit more area to play. The pool covers are gone. We removed them. Honestly, I don't know if the large cover is going to survive another year or not. It's probably got 2 to 3 dozen good-sized tears in it. One of the problems that's causing is that when we have a pool cover that lets a lot of light through, a lot of things grow on the bottom of the pool. I know it was Molly's first year to get to see the beauty of the biofilm that we grew this year, that we had to scrub by hand, a 755,000 gallon pool where the other 2 pools were just fine because the covers are much newer. That's probably going to be about $125,000 line item somewhere along the ways. I know before the meeting we had discussed the road going into the farmers market has started. We're dealing with a company, Wapping Sand and Gravel, is being very generous with the gravel that we're going to purchase and giving us just an awesome deal to bring it in. Little League fields are all open. I know Al Maximino was ecstatic to use the Pepin field this year for games only. The kids are excited to use it. They said it plays much better. The synthetic field at the high school has been closed for now. We have an absolute ton of seam failures in that field. I've been fighting with the builder, the contractor, the site contractor, the engineers for years. We originally had a problem where it started to tear, and we got the warranty extended on the field, but it's about 8 years old now, and it's constantly failing. And we really feel that it's a manufacturer's defect, either within the glue or within the padding system. We are not having very good luck right now. They're supposedly going to repair all the seams and we can open the field back up. But at this point, the field's just too hazardous for the kids to play on. There's just too many tripping hazards in the field. The gardens are in full swing. I don't know if you go by either Deming or Avery. The ladies in the front office, Leah especially, has done a great job with the gardens and all the people that she's been dealing with. And they are, I'm going to say, either close to full capacity or at full capacity. We actually added the rear row in that we weren't ever planning on adding in, and we're doing it after year one. So I think that's a big win. We have some people that are going to be using the handicap gardens, the raised beds that were built by an Eagle Scout. If I can briefly touch on, I know Art is here, but I'm going to talk about Old Orchard Hill School, the field that's there, just in case there's any questions. Contractors working over there, Liberty Landscaping, along with Jay's Landscaping. We had the old drainage tiles that were in there and some material that was brought over from new Philip Smith School and new Eli Terry to take care of some of the drainage tile issues there. We found that the material is so good that's on the top. We talked to the contractors there and we worked out a deal where we're going to push off the top material, use the material that came from the other schools and use that as a subsoil instead of a topsoil, because the material that's on site is so much better and so much more full of organics that were brought over there. We figure that that's the only way we're really going to get that field to be as good as it was. Eli Terry, I know they're looking to do some final grading and rock hounding on the back portion prior to the baseball field that's there in the next week or so. By Friday, I believe they're going to have another meeting about that site, and then they're going to work with the baseball field that's in the back there to do some finished grading, seeding, and hydro seeding in that area. I don't know if you want to discuss the showmobile or not. We have a delivery date that's a little bit later than we were wanting. We were told the end of May, beginning of June, but companies run into some issues with COVID. So now we're looking at late June, but we're hoping they're going to be able to expedite that a little bit. And the patio, the memorial patio for COVID is still up in the air. I have to attend another council meeting next Monday. I believe they're probably going to move that over to the Donnelly property. They want a site that's a little bit more visible. Some of their donators would like a site that's a little bit more visible than the interior of the park. And actually the Donnelly property makes a good location for that because, you know, there's a nice sunset over there. We're going to probably put it off to the right of the path when you go in by the flagpole somewhere, but not to the left, because I think a lot of people sit on the left and they do little some things during the sunset or morning hours. And I think that the patio will be more of an obstruction there than on the other side. So with that long-winded conversation, I think that's it. So if anybody has any questions, I'm willing to try.
Hey, John, what's the estimated time of the repairs for the synthetic field? Will it be ready for their football season or no?
I'm going to hope it's going to be ready by fall. That's for sure. I mean, I've been on the engineer that we had as our site contractor for us on him almost every day about this. And you know, it's a lot of finger pointing and it's starting to get a little frustrating. And all we hear is that, you know, we could have done this differently or this differently. Well, as far as we are concerned, the town, we've done everything the contractors asked us to do. We've kept that field to the exact specs that we were told to do in the beginning. And, you know, I'm hoping they're going to start making some seam repairs within the next couple of weeks. But even if they make the seam repairs, this problem is going to continually come back because there was a batch of glue somewhere along the lines that was a defective batch of glue. We're having a hard time finding out what batch number we use because the contractor that built our field is no longer. So that makes that more challenging, but I'll keep at it and we'll hope for the best. Life expectancy of the carpet is, they say 10 to 12 years, but we don't use our carpet at night. So I think ours will be a bit longer, but it's already 8 years old. I really don't want to use the excuse it's getting old because honestly, I don't think it's had a lot of wear yet. It doesn't even have I hate to say bald spot in it, but it has no areas that are worn. Like the fibers are in extremely good condition right now. It's just, the seams should have been glued and sewn and they're only glued. And I think that's where our field's failing.
When did the problem start?
The day after we got it.
Do we have it all documented?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting my lawyer hat on, not just simply because, we put the manufacturer or contractor on notice of any potential claims? I mean, I know you're trying to work it through amicably, but.
Well, here's the problem, James, is that it's a Board of Ed facility. They have care and control of that facility. I have pushed my way in because I kind of felt the ball got dropped on this field. So, I'm hoping that I can get someplace now. Our attorneys have been contacted. They know what's going on. And, and we've already told them, look, we've let our attorneys know. We're not very happy with it, but we have to absolutely prove a defect in a product, not a defect in the workmanship. Because if the glue was bad, it was never spec'd to sew it and glue it. So they did what they were supposed to do. The question is, was the product defective? And that's what, we just had an independent contractor go out and do a full site evaluation of the field, and they do an overall grade from an A to F. Our field got an F. So it's one of the worst fields they've seen in a long time as far as this. And they're also going to be an advocate for us when we go forward in pursuing, whether it's legal actions or whatever, they'll be our independent. So we didn't have the company, we didn't have the town evaluate, we had an independent contractor evaluate it, who does that for a living.
In a prior life, I did product liability, product defect cases. So if the town attorney and the Board of Education, I'm happy to help out and lend my hand in. If you guys feel like it's something you want to pursue, I'm more than happy to try to help out.
What I'd like to find out is what glue we actually used. But I'm having a hard time finding the original documents and build sheets of the field. Because of like I said, the field was not really built through me. It was built through the Board of Education. Daryl's new there. He's trying to find some stuff. So, I'm hoping we're going to make some headway. And I hope this company's going to say, hey, because the company even though the company that installed it is out of business, the manufacturer of the product is not.
Can you sew this? Can they sew the seams after the fact, or is that?
Yeah, they could still do that.
Okay.
The part of the problem is we got, at the 50-yard line, there's a seam that's opened up. It's probably 45 yards long. So it's the half the length of the field. There's full stripes that are pulled up off the field. The field's starting to pull away from the edges. The gutters are starting to split. I mean, there's more than just one problem. There's some settlement in the field. And like I said, unfortunately, the contractor that built the field is no longer in business, but luckily the products that we use still are.
Well, please keep us posted on the progress.
I will.
Thank you. Any other questions for either Molly or John?
Well, I do want to add in that I want to extend the invite for our first day of our farmers market, which is going to be on Saturday, May 22nd. We're going to be having a opening day for that. We're looking into doing a ribbon cutting ceremony. We'll have some entertainment booked, and we have over 20 vendors slotted for that day.
What time is
It's
the
going
start?
to be 9 a.m. So if anyone would like to attend, that'd be great.
Thanks, Molly.
Yeah.
Could we have would it be possible to have, or would it make any sense to talk a little bit about the plan for next week and the master plan before the council? Is there anything to be done? Is it we're just presenting it, we're giving it to them, and how's that gonna happen?
Yep. So Carrie dropped off all of the master plan copies for the council. They each have their own binder, and then she has prepared binders for you as well. And basically, I think they're going to be kind of going over it and asking any questions they may have to yourself and Michael as well.
Is that meeting in person or is that gonna be a Zoom as well? Or WebEx?
I believe it's still virtual. Yeah, it's still virtual on the 19th.
I didn't know if we needed to form a strategy at all, that's all.
No, I think you're just going to be presenting on what everyone's been working on with the master plan and kind of chat about things that are within the plan. I'm not sure what kind of questions or anything they're going to be asking.
Okay.
Can I, hey, Toby, can I recommend if George is available, that George also attend, since he was there since the beginning of time in regard to Parks and Rec? And so this is,
So you might have to get him to fix the mute button.
No, it's my mute button's messed up.
well, I hear you now. Yeah, so George, if you're able to attend also, because they may ask some questions about some of the meetings we've had and how we decided on our priorities and all. And you might be able to help with that.
Okay.
It'd be good to have historical data with you. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there any other business?
So I did want to bring up a potential to the commission to see what everyone's thoughts were. So about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was made known that LA Fitness in South Windsor might be up for sale. It's not exactly published yet. We've only seen it on LoopNet, which is a realtor site for businesses. However, you know, we do believe that it could be a good new home for us if we are indeed kicked out of the Wapping facility in the next couple of years. You know, and I think that with the commission's support, we could write a letter to the town manager in terms of kind of pursuing more information on this property and how we could benefit it as a community hub for us.
Molly, are you thinking it's going to be the offices and a rec center with that also?
That would be our thought. We did end up, you know, looking at the facility, just kind of seeing what it looked like. And there's a pool, locker room. There's plenty of open space. There's a couple of brand new group exercise rooms, which we utilize for the fitness or any of our other classes, several indoor pickleball courts, spaces for childcare. And, you know, there's ways that we could also incorporate some wellness and some meeting rooms in there. And there's ample parking, which is also a nice piece for it. I think there's ways that we could really make it a good community hub for everyone to meet, do some wellness, some recreation, get in the water off season, as we, you know, don't have an indoor pool in our town currently. It's not a large pool. It's only 4 lanes, but there's ways to expand upon that as well.
That gets into what was once presented long years ago as original plan. Is that's what we should have done before LA Fitness, but now that they've already built it, maybe this is the opportune time.
So that's why I wanted to bring it up to the commission to see if there would be support to write a letter to the town manager or to the realtors to kind of get some more information on the property.
Any discussion, any questions?
I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Molly, I know that you and I have talked about a few things, but maybe if you let them know about what the price tag we're thinking this thing is going to go at, I think that's going to be a
I don't want to.
part of it. It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's under 5 million, so it's 4.9. and that's renovated. And I mean, obviously, in terms of converting that into a recreational facility, there would be a cost of that as well. as there's a huge amount of open space in there without walls currently, as it is utilized as mainly a gym. However, with the 5 pickleball courts, I'm not sure that's a need to have all 5. So that can be converted into another space as well. Obviously, we'd like to be able to utilize a couple of those for our community members that love pickleball. But
Not taking away the racquetball courts, are you?
No.
I think they can be utilized as well. I don't know.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Molly, hopefully nobody takes this the wrong way. With all the money coming into states from the COVID relief, is there any thought about any money being diverted in a conversation about a rec center or wellness or anything like that? Is there anything there?
There has not been any discussion on that in the current moment, no.
Okay. Just curious. I mean, there has a lot of stuff in there that can be construed to be in line with the funding. But I'm not an expert at all in it, but there's a lot of avenues there, but I don't know who's an expert in that.
there's a lot of people in town that want an indoor pool. We know if we go anywhere, it's going to have to go to RFP. But I think this is a lower cost than what we had projected if we did it on our own.
I mean, to build an indoor pool itself would be around at least $2 to $3 million. So I think to already come with a pool and the locker rooms are updated, I think that's a huge savings in terms of that.
Well, I think it would make sense to write a letter to say we have some interest, we'd like some more information. Are you guys okay with that? Or are you team, gals?
Yep.
Do we need a motion for that? We're just looking for more information.
Yeah.
Toby, you gonna take a shot at the letter or?
You should still make a motion to write the letter.
I don't know. I'm begging for it. I don't know how else to be more directed. I'm the one on the other side that's usually making the motion, but I can't do that now.
I make a motion that Toby writes a letter.
Rats, it didn't get seconded.
I'll second.
I'll take a stab at it.
Pertaining to the purchase of the property, Toby, okay? Not just a letter.
Thanks.
Toby, reach on out if you need some help or you want me to take a peek at it.
Yeah, well, I'll reach out to Molly and to Carrie also for some details and help. Is there a time frame for that? When would this be due?
I mean, the property was listed, it's only listed on one site right now, but it was listed over 2 weeks ago. So I think kind of the
So
sooner
we
the
can
better.
lowball them. We can get it for $3 million.
Maybe.
So we want a letter for requesting more information. Is that right? We have an interest, we're expressing an interest, and we'd like some more information. Is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I will, anyone know the address there?
It is 100 Cedar Ave in South Windsor, Connecticut.
Well, I'm definitely not gonna renew my membership. Okay. All right, I'll do that. I'll get that done before the end of next week. Did that timing work out for everyone? Okay, Mike and Mike, I'll shoot with you and we'll wordsmith it.
Sounds good.
Super. There's another motion I'd be looking for.
I'm not letting you do it. I have one more thing.
Oh, good.
We can't get out of here before 8:15. It's never been done. The Al Larson swim lanes, wall, the sign for the pool has been finished. We will put that up before the pool does open. So, I'll get a picture of that. A good place for everybody to go. I know Molly sent out the town manager's report. there's some good articles and pictures in there. It does show that Eli Terry Pipe. It shows the pool, shows some things that the recreation department's been doing. It's a good quick little, nice little read. So.
And John, is there any dedication when you unveil the sign for the pool?
We can do that if you would like, sure.
I'd be willing to show. I don't know if anybody else would.
I will if I can.
All right, we'll set something up. We'll see if there's a good meeting date for somebody, and we'll do that.
And we'll let the GI know too.
Yeah, we wrote that letter to town council. They could read it out loud as we present it. What Al's done.
Yeah, we'll let some people from the town council know also.
Okay, thanks.
Tom will read the letter. He'll read anything in front of a mic. Okay. Oh, that was mean. I'm sorry. Anything else for the board? John, last 2 minutes. Someone care to make a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Is it seconded?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
The only time George's mic worked.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.
See ya.